Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is just gonna be kind of a chill one. I thought I would just sit and chat about kind of like makeup trends or preferences that I used to be into that maybe I'm not into anymore, or that I wasn't into and now I am. I've noticed myself saying this in a lot of YouTube videos recently of, oh, I used to do this all the time and now I really don't, or I never used to do this and now I'm super into this. So I thought it would be fun to just take a few minutes, sit down, think of how my makeup, preferences have changed throughout the past, couple of years here, and just kind of chat about it with you guys. So if you would like to see that, why don't we go ahead and get started. Like I said, I made a little list here on my phone and it was fun to kind of think back and all of that. But one of the first items that I put on my list was powder foundations. I used to pretty much only wear powder foundations versus like a liquid foundation. Even just 3-4 years ago maybe, I almost never was buying liquid foundation. I think part of it was I wasn't really sure the best way to apply it, or I didn't think that I applied them well. I also think part of that was not really being sure what to pick, like how to pick out a liquid foundation. I wasn't sure, I wasn't watching YouTube, several years ago, and obviously before YouTube was around, I didn't have all these tutorials at my fingertips ready to watch. So I was really confused and not really, I was into makeup and I loved going to stores like Ulta and Sephora and even just like the beauty aisles at like Walgreens and CVS. But I also didn't know what I was doing and I struggled so badly with makeup, which is why it's been so fun to discover YouTube tutorials and then, go on to start a YouTube channel myself. It's been really, really fun. But I think I was just very overwhelmed by liquid foundations and was just really unsure about them. I have recommended like the Pure 4-in-1 powder foundation so often, but you very rarely see me talking about that one anymore because I just don't wear powder foundations as much. I love my liquid foundations and trying them out. My collection is very large now, while my powder foundations have slowly shrunk. I don't mind like a powder foundation for like setting my face, but a lot of times now I'm using setting powders for that process. So yeah, powder foundations used to be an absolute go-to of mine, and it is very rare these days that I use that. The next one that I put on my list, this is a recent one, is lip gloss. For years on my YouTube channel, I am not a lip gloss girl. I am not a lip gloss girl. I do not wear lip gloss. Not a lip gloss fan. I would say that over and over and over again. And recently, I mean within the past like few months here, right? I've just been more into lip gloss. I've been buying them, I've been wearing them so much, and it's just so funny to me to see how your preferences change. And there's some, sometimes you're into something, then you're not, then you are again. I mean, that happens so often. Trends come and go, preferences come and go, things change. It is what it is. But lip gloss was a funny one to me. I really do enjoy matte lips. I enjoy the liquid lipsticks. I have a ton of them. Even with like a bullet lipstick, I still prefer it to look more matte on my lips. So I'm just a matte lip kind of girl, and there was a time where I just almost never wore lip gloss. It was so rare, and now I have lip gloss so I wear it so often. I have some on today from Persona Cosmetics, and it's funny because yesterday's video that I posted was on my essentials makeup bag. What is in there, like as we've been moving, what did I pull aside, what did I not want to pack away, what did I not want to go to the new city when I was still in the old city. And there is a lot of lip gloss in there. Let me tell you, there's a lot of lip glosses because I'm just finding it so quick and easy with like a lip liner and then put a lip gloss on it. Like it's just really quick and easy for me to do. So lip gloss is one that is kind of surprising to me. That just kind of popped up recently. Lip gloss snuck up on me and made me fall for them. So speaking of that, also lip liner. I posted a video, I think it was just last year, and it was titled something like makeup products I can live without. And I was talking about different categories in there of makeup products, beauty products that maybe I like, maybe I use, but if someone were to come in and steal everything out of this one makeup category, I would still be able to live my life and, live it successfully. And I put lip liners in there, and I was like, you know what, I have a lot of lip liners and sometimes I remember to do it, but I just really don't need to. Like, it's just kind of like an extra step. I don't think it's necessary. I wear lip liner almost every single day now. It is so rare for me not to be wearing a lip liner, and I'm like, what happened? What happened? Lip liner and lip gloss, what happened? And that is a combo that I just wear so often. So again, it's just so funny to me to see how things can change. But yes, it is way out of the norm to not see me with a lip liner on. And generally when I go out, like in my essentials bag, I had a couple lip liners. I generally keep some in my purse as well. I just feel like it's been so easy. I feel like it really does help shape the lips, of course, what everyone would always tell me. But I think maybe I got better at lining my lips. I kind of learned a few techniques, again, from watching YouTube videos of the best way to line them, because I felt like sometimes when I lined them, it just wouldn't look right, and I feel like my lips would look worse off than if I hadn't been lining them. So I think I learned some good tips, especially for like the bottom lips. I was watching a video from Desi Perkins, and she said if you want to overline the bottom lips, where you would do it is the center of your lip. You know, draw the line a little bit lower, but when you go to line the sides of your lips, follow your lip line there. Don't overline there, because that's when it can start to look pretty darn funky on you. Just do that middle of the lip and it makes a big difference. And I was like, okay, I can try that. And I did it and I was like, whoa, okay. Because I feel like when I would try to overline up here, that's when just things would start moving and just look weird. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna skip the lip liner. So I feel like I've gotten better with my lip liner application these days, and again, I just think it's quick and it's easy. Pair it with some lip gloss, it's beautiful. You can fill in your lips. A lot of times I just wear lip liner just as an all over lip color, and I think it's beautiful. Colourpop Oh Snap is a favorite of mine, and it just is like a your lips but better, and when I apply it with the lip liner, it just looks so beautiful. So lip liner, that's another one that I did not see coming. Next up is glowy face products. So not that long ago, I was very into matte products, like especially matte bronzers and matte blushes. I did not want any shimmer in them. I did not want any glowiness to my bronzers or blushes. I wanted them to be matte. I wanted my glow to come from my foundations and also from my highlighters. That is what I wanted. And I have totally flipped as of right now. I am so into glowy bronzers and blushes. It is almost all that I wear. And again, that one kind of snuck up on me as well. I reach for a lot of glowy blushes these days. The Buxom Seychelles, one of their newer primer infused blushes, gives this beautiful glow to the skin, and I think that it is so pretty. Even my Natasha Denona Mini Blush and Glow, when I first purchased that, I didn't love it because I was like, oh, you know, the blush is kind of like too glowy for me. I'd prefer it to be a matte blush. And now that's in my makeup essentials bag because I reach for it so often, because I don't have a ton of glowy blushes in my collection as of right now. They're mostly matte, because that's what I used to be into. And now I'm like, man, I need some more glowy blushes up in my life. And the same thing with bronzers. I was matte bronzer. If it said any hint of glowy or shimmery, I was like, ooh, no, probably not gonna like that. And now I'm like, yes, give me the glowy bronzers. Give me the Hourglass. The new Wet n Wild ones have a beautiful glow to it. It's not too shimmery, it's not too glittery, because I don't want it to be too much, but just that hint of a glow, I just think looks so beautiful. So glowy bronzers and blushes have been a big one. That was a very, very big switch for me. And kind of along that same line is foundations. So like I said, I used to want my glow to come from my foundations and my highlights. With foundations, I used to only like really prefer very dewy, very radiant foundations. I do have dry skin, so I think that kind of played into it, but I've noticed just kind of getting used to my makeup preferences and trying out different finishes and such, I really prefer a natural finish foundation. And now I prefer to get my glow from, maybe there's a primer I really like the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow primer. That gives a really nice radiance. Or something like the MAC Strobe Cream. That gives a nice radiance. Then my foundation is that natural finish, and then I can come in with a few more glowy products and still kind of like, you know, kind of combat my dry skin. I can still be glowy and beautiful, but it's not too much, because sometimes when my foundation, I would notice when they were too dewy or too luminous, it would just get to be too much. And a lot of times I would notice they would break up on my skin and just not last as long. So I've definitely come to prefer more natural finish foundations, and then I kind of work in the glow in other areas that I used to prefer to be matte. Does that make sense? Like, it's just so funny to see again. And you know what? Who knows, next year this could be totally changed again. I could be into full coverage matte finish foundations next year. Like, who the heck knows? Preferences can definitely change. So I just thought that one was kind of a funny one too, but definitely very into natural finish foundations at this moment. Another one that's kind of surprising me as of lately, I definitely have noticed myself not wearing false lashes as much. I definitely noticed when I, you know, first kind of started my channel and was filming videos, I would wear lashes in the majority of the videos. And I actually would get comments from people saying, I just would really like to see you do looks without lashes because I'm not a big lash wearer. And I was like, okay, you know, like I totally understand that, but I was like, you know what? Lashes just, to me, just complete the look. They just pull everything together. I've been a fan of false lashes for such a long time. I mean, I was that girl in college. Every party I had my false lashes on. Like, that's like kind of like how I was known, like the girl who wears the false lashes, because nobody else did, but I loved false lashes. I just always have. I think maybe one reason why I have maybe stepped away from false lashes a little bit is because I think I've gotten more confident with my eye looks. And I think maybe a reason why I reach for lashes so much is because I didn't really know what I was doing yet with eyeshadow, and a lot of times my looks would be very simple or very plain, and I felt like if I added lashes, it gave like an instant oomph to it. So I think that was maybe kind of one reason that's kind of played into this, because now I feel, you know, maybe just a little bit more confident or a little bit more adventurous, or I follow, you know, YouTube tutorials, and I feel like I just can amp up my makeup looks, and it's almost like I kind of feel like I don't need to hide behind my lashes, maybe, if we want to get that deep. And sometimes I feel like I do really cool makeup looks, eye looks, and I don't want lashes to necessarily cover that look. I want you to be able to see all the work that I did on my eyelids, and sometimes just adding mascara can help, you know, have that be the star of the show versus the lashes taking up so much. Like, ooh, girl, you know, your lashes are beautiful. Maybe that's something that's kind of played into it, but I have definitely noticed that I haven't reached for my lashes as much. I've also definitely gotten more into trying out mascaras and trying, and, you know, really being able to find some mascaras that I think are really nice, that give me length, that give me volume, that give me the fluffy lashes. You know, I don't really think that I found a mascara that makes my lashes look like they are falsies by any means, but it's nice to be able to have them for when I want to amp up a look, but I don't feel like I have to wear lashes now with every single makeup look. So that was one that was kind of interesting for me to realize. So this next one is one that you might have heard me say in a lot of my videos, but that's loose setting powder. A couple years ago, I was so into loose powders. I was wearing them almost with every single makeup look. I was doing like the heavy baking when that really came into trend and style. I was doing baking quite a bit, and then I was pretty much completely off loose powder. I decluttered a bunch of them, really wasn't buying them, wasn't using them a lot. I was really going into my pressed powders, even to set my concealer, to set my whole face. I just was like, you know what, loose powders, they're too heavy on me, they're too cakey, I have dry skin, I feel like it just emphasizes my dry skin, like I'm just out. And within the past few months here, I've really started to get back into them. So again, that's one that's kind of funny to see myself be really into it, not into it, and now they've making a very strong comeback. I've been purchasing a lot, I've been recommending a lot. More and more loose powders have been calling my attention. So that was another one that was pretty interesting for me to notice, but definitely loose powders. It's been kind of like an up down and up down, but right now I love loose powders, and it's a step that I do almost every day. Not every day, but almost every day. Oh, this next one. Brows. I used to not do my brows. I really didn't know that that was a thing. I don't think I knew anybody, like, going through college. None of my girlfriends owned a brow pencil. I didn't own a brow pencil. No one filled in their brows. I genuinely did not know that was a thing. And for almost, I want to say, my entire first year of being on YouTube, I did not do my brows. And the comments were vicious, let me tell you. And looking back, what's interesting to me is once I realized brows were taken very seriously in the beauty community, I was like, okay, yeah, like I want to learn how to do brows too. Like I'll watch some tutorials. So I would watch some tutorials and I would try, but it's one of those things where I would get such mean comments and people would be so over the top about eyebrows that I was like, never mind, I don't want to learn. I don't care that much. Like, it was like one of those like reverse psychology things. Like the meaner people were to me about not doing my brows, the more I was like, don't want to do them. Bye. Like, don't care. Like it's makeup. It's not that deep. On no level is it that deep to say the things that people would say to me because I didn't do my eyebrows. And it just kind of made me back off. So I went through this phase where like, I'm going to try to learn to do brows. And then I was completely like, nope, never mind. Like I didn't go as far as like throwing brow products away, but that's kind of like what I wanted to do. Cause I was like, never mind. I just don't want to do them then. It was almost, I was like trying to fight back, you know, like, well, fine, you're mad. I'm just not going to do them then. Like I totally went through that. And then I was like, you know what? That's really silly. you need to be better than that. You need to be a little bit more mature. And then that's when I started watching the brow tutorials again and really trying to understand how to do them. And I feel like I'm in a pretty good place with my brows. I mean, some days are better than others. Again, it's not that deep. And you know, sometimes I try new things, or I try new products, or I try to switch things up or fill things in different ways. And now I have fun with it. I enjoy doing my brows. It's still not a step that I feel like I have to do every day. And there's times where I go out with friends in public and don't do my brows, and it's okay. No one has ever come up to me in public and been like, girl, how'd you leave the house without doing your brows? I've never had that happen to me, so it's still a step that I now enjoy doing in the makeup process, and I think it's fun, and it's fun to try to create different things and see what you can do, but I still don't feel like I have to do my brows to be complete. That one is definitely one I had to include on my list because, man, we've had a brow journey. We have had a brow journey. It's really funny, but highlighter is one that has kind of come and gone for me as well. I didn't know what highlighter was until I started watching YouTube. I didn't know that was a thing that you did. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm gonna highlight, boom, everywhere, blinding highlight. Yes, love it, love it, love it. And I went through this time where I was using highlight so much, I started to get terrible texture on my skin, and it was like right here, right where you highlight your face. All of a sudden I was getting so much texture, and I was trying all these different skincare, you know, all these different skincare products, and to try to help with texture, and nothing was really helping me. So I felt like every time I was highlighting, I was just obviously highlighting the texture, and I felt like it looked so bad. I would love to know who is watching this that remembers when I kept saying, I am off the highlighter train. I am off I'm done highlighting. I just don't think it looks good on me. I'm off the highlighter train. They were just gonna collect dust in my collection because I was like, no, highlighting's over for me. Highlighting has obviously come back for me. I feel like I've finally started to use some products that really helped with texture, especially Drunk Elephant, the Serum a Day serum, and the night serum, the one in the pink with the pink cap. Those I believe have really helped me, and when I was using them consistently, when I really started to test out Drunk Elephant and I was trying a bunch of their products really consistently, my texture was improved so much. And I have been out of the night serum for a while now, and my texture has been making a comeback, and I've been very upset about that. And I just got some more serum in, and I am so happy to start using it again because it took a while. It wasn't like I stopped using it and the very, you know, next day, 2 days later, all of a sudden my texture was back. It's been over time. It's been over probably the last month that all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, I have texture on my face again? What is this? So I'm gonna start using the serum and see if that kind of helps clear it up. But I'm definitely back on the highlight train because I was able to clear up some of those issues, and now I love my highlights. Highlight is something that I do every single day now. I mean, I love my highlighting so much, so I'm definitely back on the highlight train. Choo choo! But I would love to know who remembers when I got off the highlighting train. And then I have just one more on my list here, and that is doing an inner corner highlight and also a brow bone highlight. I also mentioned this in Friday's video when I was doing those 2 steps, was that especially for inner corner, I used to not do that at all, and I would think it was so weird. Like, honestly, I would think it was like the weirdest thing. I'm like, why are you guys putting eyeshadow there? And especially ones that were like really bright or bold inner corners, like really sparkly, really shiny. I was like, no, I will not be doing that. Thanks though. I would even say it in my videos sometimes, like, I know everyone, you know, they want to use this one to inner corner highlight, but I do not do that step. And now I do it so often. It's not, I don't do it every single time, I will say that, and sometimes I just do a matte one just to kind of brighten up a look, but sometimes I do like to do something more shiny, more sparkly, more with a pow. So that one's kind of funny to me. I used to just think that was like the weirdest thing was the inner corner highlight, and now I think it's beautiful. And kind of same thing with the brow bone. I didn't also know that was a thing until I started watching YouTube videos, and I was like, why are you putting, what's that about? And then once I learned, I was like, oh, okay, that is cool. I like the way that it looks. Again, it's not something that I feel like I need to do every single time with every single makeup look, but sometimes there's certain ones that just kind of call to me. I'm like, you know what, just a little bit, like I do like just a little bit like on the arch mostly is where I do. I don't really do along the full brow, but yeah, now I'm kind of a little bit more into doing the brow bone highlight as well. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was fun. I would love to know what are some items that you used to not love and that you do, vice versa. Let me know in the comments because it was kind of fun to look back, and I even kind of poked back at some of my older YouTube videos to try to give me some ideas of maybe some items that I have missed. And because honestly, I totally forgot about highlighter. I forgot that I went through a phase where I wasn't wearing highlighter. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I would love to get your comments, of course, down below. And as always, if you did enjoy this one, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.